Hey, what is up, guys? It is Jed. I do believe I need to start saying that more because for some reason people keep calling me Ged. But anyways, today I want to talk about Playground Mode and how I see it as failed potential. Don't worry, I'm not going to be complaining about how it went down for several days after being out for only a little bit. If they needed to do maintenance, that's totally fine. I would patiently wait for them to complete whatever is necessary to get the game mode running. I want to talk about the flaws I see in the game mode in general and point out how it doesn't necessarily accomplish what we really thought it was going to. The game mode itself is rather fun, and you can actually have a good amount of hours of fun practicing, 1v1ing your friends, making crazy structures. Hell, I've seen people completely cover Loot Lake, which I thought was just incredible to look at. But this fun is bound to run out. For me, I thought it was supposed to be a mode where you queue up with maybe 10 to 25 players and you just fight them for a little bit. But rather, all you do is queue up with whoever is in your squad and duke it out for an hour. This can undoubtedly prove useful for some people. I've seen people improve from playing this mode. I overall think it's a great addition to the game, and I would go as far as to say it should be permanent. However, for a player like me, I don't think it's useful at all. Everyone should know by now, I'm kind of getting tired of the hardcore demographic being completely ignored when Epic makes changes or additions. A hardcore player does not need an environment to learn the mechanics. They already know the mechanics. A hardcore player needs to be put into thousands of gunfights to truly get better at the game, as anyone would, but I'm at the point where I don't need to get faster at 1x1ing or getting better at double ramping. While I could, it's not really worth an entire LTM. I'm in an unfortunate position that requires me to seek out players using third-party services, friend them, invite them to actually get some serious fights that would improve me as a player. I'm friends with a lot of people that don't take this game very seriously and only have a fraction of my time played. I can't truly improve as a player unless I'm fighting people who are equal or better than me. That's how I learn, and that's how a lot of people do learn as well. In Playground's current state, I do not have access to improvement. I could roll the dice with matchmaking and find 3 people an hour and hope they're better than me, but the chances of that happening are probably low. I do have some interesting improvements for Playground's V2. I hope to see these come out. First one is definitely bigger lobbies, but only if you want them. I had an interesting idea that would allow 3 fill options. The first one would disable filling altogether, would only queue you with the people that are in your squad currently like it normally does. Squad fill, which functions exactly how it does already, would just fill up your squad. And then the new one would be lobby fill, which would allow as many players into your game as Epic thinks the game could handle. As a hardcore player, I need bigger lobbies, I need more encounters. I need the chance to run into better players. I've gotten fairly decent at H1, and that's because their combat zone has allowed me to get into thousands of gunfights, and the only people left in that game are god tier players. As far as the technical side of things, I think this would have been better because the matchmaker needed to generate 25 to 100 times more servers, and that was the reason they had to take Playground down for quite a bit. If you lower it to 4 to 5 times more servers needed, that probably would have been a lot better and easier to fix. My second thing is, why is resource management still in this mode? Granted, due to this, I found out that I can go through 1k wood in 40 seconds. Why isn't it just infinite? I understand why this would exist if there was maybe 20 people on the map. I could see some performance issues with that, but can the engine really not handle 4 people infinitely building? And even if it couldn't, can't you just shoot down the buildings and do a little bit of self-optimizing? I also don't really understand why consumables disappear after you use them or why we must search for ammo. I think you should just give us max ammo binded to our character that cannot drop. The third thing is, why do console players not have aim assist in this mode? Almost all of my friends play on console, and some are really good at the game, but we can't have a proper PC versus Xbox battle because they weren't given aim assist. This literally blows my mind that this slipped past the developers and their quality assurance team. My fourth problem with this mode is that we can edit our teammates' structures even though they're our only enemy in the entire lobby. I believe there's an issue when you have to specifically tell your teammates not to edit your structures or to use separate building materials so you don't get confused about whose builds are whose. Due to reason 3 and 4, I want to believe that Epic tried to make this a proper combat zone with other people but pulled it at the last second. I know Epic Games is not this incompetent. I know they didn't just accidentally mess up the most anticipated and hyped LTM to ever exist so far. I believe they purposely pulled an actual combat zone at the last moment due to technical issues. Hopefully time will tell us. Anyways, sorry this video wasn't incredibly long. There isn't much to talk about. Overall, I think Playground is a good addition to the game. I think it should definitely stay and it should be permanent, perhaps with the name of Private Match or something. I would say the Playground mode is comparable to the Launchpad. They were trying to solve something, and with the Launchpad, it was trying to speed up mid-game a little bit more. It wasn't as practical as it could have been. It's definitely a welcome change, and I think it should stay in the game, but I think they could do better. But that's all I have. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out, everybody.